Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present to you a little vase. Look at this mech. So big, so large, but there it is. A little vase. Anyway, let's play some Hawken. Now, firing up in TDM on Bizarre Map, suddenly a wild scout appears. Now this scout is going to make a decision. He has two choices. He can either go to my right and try to get around the structure using the cover to try to get behind me, or he can go to the left, which is in the open and honestly not the best choice. I want him to go to the left, and he's going to make that decision. Remember, this guy can always run away. Right here he can run away, but instead he decides to keep engaging. And he's going to make the same mistake again. He's going to come out to the left into the open, and I punish him for it. Now, using the repair orbs, I'm already ready to fight again. This is the advantage of having a Mark III repair orb, an extractor, and the repair kit. That's incredibly helpful for turret mode. Now here I'm going to push up, try to get the kill on the technician and fail, and then I'm going to back off because I'm getting too aggressive and I'm about to overheat. Bizarre is not the best map for turret mode because it's an incredibly open map. It's incredibly easy for people to flank you, and wow, that guy was loud. Now I'm going to isolate this sharpshooter, sneak up on him, and kill him really quick. Nice and easy kill. That's an opportunistic kill. Now here, I'm going to be presented with a dilemma. Suddenly, hailfires are coming in from behind, probably from that bruiser that went to the left. You can see the mark on my radar. Now, I'm worried that if I back up to the right, I'm going to get double teamed by the grenadier and the bruiser. So instead what I do is I push forward, put the structure in between me and the bruiser, and try to get the kill on the grenadier. Now this was actually the wrong choice, and I should have played it safer. However, it doesn't work out too badly, so I get this kill on the grenadier really quickly, really efficiently. However, now I'm surrounded by the enemy team, and I'm most certainly going to die. I am dead. Now, you're going to be faced with dilemmas like that a lot of the time, and it's clear that I made the wrong decision. Bizarre is such an open map, and you have to be pretty careful in turret mode. Now here I'm going to try to repair real quick, but I notice my radar says that enemies are so close, so I decide not to, and I'm going to try to push this sharpshooter. He's going to try to flank me, and I'm going to kill him. Sharpshooters are very easy to kill in turret mode if you're that close. It's very satisfying, if I'm honest. I remember back when sharpshooters were OP and they gave me all sorts of issues. Now, again, I'm going to be presented with a dilemma. I can pursue that scout to the left, or I can back up. That technician is scaring me. I don't want to push up with that technician there. You have to be so careful in turret mode. Even a technician behind you can really easily kill you. And this is a situation where in turret mode you're at a disadvantage. In any other mech, in any other mode, I would have been very willing to chase that scout, but I decided not to. And that was probably the right decision. I would have been killed very quickly and very, very efficiently by that technician. Now this technician's going to get too greedy. He's going to be the battle medic technician that gets killed real easy. Now, you can't fight turret mode like that technician was trying to. It's really a lot better to face hug a turret mode. You have a lot more mobility than a turret mode, so you should try to face hug him. You should try to confuse him by getting behind him and killing him while he's looking around trying to find you. Now I get EMP'd twice at turret mode. You want the EMP? And I die a horrible death. because turret mode attracts EMPs like flies to a rotting corpse, and there's not really much you can do about it because, again, you're an easy target and EMP. Yeah, what else is there to say? Remember, always try to get assists in turret mode. Even if it's just a little tap and you get an assist, that means that your armor fuser activates and you're getting 10 points of armor per second, which is very helpful. Now here I'm going to get that berserker out of there, and this is where I'm in a bad position. I'm in this little cubby hole, and here I become filled with great rage and decide to charge the sharpshooter alone. Like I don't know. I felt like it. It was a horrible decision, if I'm completely honest, but sometimes you just gotta do something illogical. I shouldn't have done that though. I mean, the scores are 19-19. It's a close game. I should have been more conservative, and that's a mistake on my part. So don't be like me. Do as I say, not as I do. And immediately, I'm going to focus down that light mech. It's generally a good idea in turret mode to focus down any light mechs or predators or infiltrators or anything that has a very high risk of getting behind you. Things like infiltrator, of course, they can cloak and try to get behind you. Now here's an interesting situation. Now to my left, there is a scout that's trying to flank me. In fact, it's the scout that I've just killed. Now I'm going to immediately turn to face that threat. Whenever you have something flanking you, you immediately delegate focus to that threat and get ready for someone who's trying to flank me. And indeed, it was a scout. Now I was able to scare him off really easy because he's alone, but if I had not looked behind, to check that area, I would have been offed, probably. And I'm still going to be in huge amounts of trouble. See, this is the scout that I fought before, learning from his previous mistake and trying to jump over me. This is something that's great against turret mode, and I'm in trouble. There's a berserker on the roof to my right, and there's a possibility that I'm going to die very quickly here. So I'm going to back up into that wall and put my back to it, put my repair charge down, and try to take care of the scout as quickly as possible. Now here I'm presented with another choice. I can either try to back up, or I can run forward on the repair charges and try to heal enough to survive. If I back up, I'm almost certainly going to die, and I'm going to push up onto the repair charges, and I'm going to have enough health to engage this berserker. Now I still might die, but it gave me a better chance, and I'm able to barely win the fight. But then another person shoots me. There's only one mech in the game that can do damage that quickly and from that far away. If you look on my radar, you can see the sharpshooter that's shooting me. Now I'm in trouble, big trouble.
Sefcore, move!
And I'm going to go back into turret mode, opting not to repair because I don't have the time. And I'm going to just go into turret mode and try to tank the damage. And barely I'm able to survive because a teammate showed up. That is the power of turret mode, just being able to tank damage, but it's not to be. It's just not meant to be because that scout showed up at the perfect time. The scout that I first killed was really out for my blood, and he got it. So, good work, scout. You deserve it. Give that scout a raise. Give him a pat on the back. You got me, yeah. So that was an awesome engagement, and my team has gotten the better of the enemy team just by 4 points. This technician was not the best of technicians. You just have to stay with other teammates as a technician. You have to be a lot more careful, a lot more passive in a technician, which is unfortunate, but it's a technician. You can't expect it to be a frontline class. This guy's making the same mistake. He tries to flank me, but it's too late. I have too much health, and he doesn't have enough to pull it off. Once again, that technician gets greedy, and he's going to nearly die for it. You can't do that in the technician. just doesn't work out for you. You have the lowest DPS in the game. Now here's a moment where I decide to focus down that light mech. You see, in engagements like this, you want to focus down any mech that has a higher risk of getting behind you. The light mech in that situation may have been able to get behind me, so I immediately concentrated my fire on him instead of that medium mech. And that was the right decision. And again, you see me doing that with this technician. I'm always worried about light mechs getting behind me, and I'm going to focus on them before I focus on any other mech. Because they are the highest risk to you. So there's my team over there, and I'm going to try to work my way up. But suddenly, that wild scout appears. And he's going to try to get around me, and I'm going to meet him in the cubbyhole. I'm more than happy to fight him in here, alone, with the cubbyhole behind me and these walls protecting me. I'm able to get the better of the engagement on this scout without much trouble, and that's the game. So that's how you play a little face to mech, and let's see that beautiful face. Right about there we go. I show you the beautiful face. Oh, beautiful. Anyway, that was a pretty nice game in turret mode. I had a good team supporting me there. Now that was a pretty good game. Of course, it didn't go for the full time as we reached the 40 kill cap. Now that was a pretty good game for turret mode, especially considering it was on Bazaar. It was a very close game at first, but this team was very good, and I was able to work very well. I got 15 kills, 5 deaths, and 5 assists. So that is a good game. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.